In this video, we're going to take a look at working with sheets in Excel. Here we have an Excel spreadsheet, and it has sheets 1 through 4. You can select sheets by control-click. So if I have sheet 1 selected, and then I control-click sheet 3, I have selected both sheets. I can single-click any sheet to select it. If I select sheet 1 and shift-click sheet 4, I will have selected all 4 sheets. The nice thing about having sheets selected in this manner is that whatever you type onto the first sheet you've selected will appear on each sheet that's selected. Sort of like carbon paper, if you know what that is, years ago. So if I were to begin to type into sheet 1, and so here I have all of the office, month 1, 2, and 3, and totals. And if I select sheet 2, notice that it's the same thing on each sheet as you type, and it appears on all the sheets. You can copy and paste the sheet, etc., but that's one way of doing multiple sheets simultaneously. Next, we'll take a look at, we have multiple sheets here. We have lots of sheets, and I want to copy this particular sheet, just this sheet, to a different workbook or a new workbook. I can simply right-click the sheet I'm interested in and select Move Copy. Notice you can insert a new sheet, delete, rename, etc., but I'm just going to move or copy. I can create a copy. To what workbook? The workbook I'm on, and I can then place it after any given sheet, or before the sheet, or move it to the end. But I can also select either a new workbook or any workbook that I have open. If I select the new workbook, or new book, and select Create Copy, I now have a new Excel workbook with simply that sheet selected and copied to it. You can copy and paste, but this can save you a lot of formatting time, etc. You can also select multiples. So if I were to select 2 sheets by, again, control-click, right-click, and then move or copy, again, I can create a copy and then select whatever workbook I'd care to, or a new workbook, a new book, a new file, and I click OK, and now I have both sheets. Rather handy. This file also has multiple sheets. To select the sheet you want, here where you have the sheet selectors, if I simply right-click on that sheet selector, I can jump to any sheet I would like by selecting it, and then click OK, and there I've jumped to that particular sheet. So that's how you can kind of move around in the sheets, etc. Finally, we have what's referred to sometimes as a three-dimensional formula. In other words, you can, of course, add things up in a column or add things across in a row. That's dimension of height and width, if you will. But you can go through the sheets. So here I have a year end. And I apologize, let me delete this. Here I have a year end for each office. What I want to do is add up E2, the cell E2, and notice that each sheet is constructed the same. E2 on each sheet is the total for Atlanta, and then following for London, etc. So the sheets are constructed in the same manner. Also, the sheet that you're going to do the final calculation on must be either the first sheet or the last. It can't be stuck in the middle. If you do this, you'll get an error. So, how do I add up 1 through 4 on year end? I simply click the total and start my function. So I'm just going to do a basic sum. You could do a count, average, sum, etc. Once I have started my formula, I select the sheet, the first sheet that I'm interested in, select the cell I want. So now I have selected the cell E2 on the first quarter. Holding down the Shift key, I then select the fourth quarter. Now I have equal sum first quarter through the fourth quarter, E2. The exclamation point is sometimes referred to as a bang, B-A-N-G, bang. So I simply close this with my final parenthesis and enter, and I have summed up the cell E2 on the first, second, third, and fourth quarters to get that total. Once that's completed, I can simply copy it down. So again, I can start a basic formula, equal sum, paren. Select the sheet, the first sheet, then the cell, shift click the final sheet, fourth quarter, and the parenthesis, close it, and there I have it. I hope you found this of interest. Hopefully some of it is advantageous. And as always, thank you for watching.